Okay, it's Thursday, the 16th of November. What a great day to be doing some gardening work. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be clearing up the damage from the storm earlier in the week and getting our last treatment on this lawn, because once December hits, this lawn is covered in Christmas decorations. Therefore I can't get on it. So today is probably the only day I'm going to be able to do it, because I can't imagine there's going to be too many days left like this where there is no wind whatsoever. So let's crack on. Let me show you what we're going to do later on in the video. Alright, so first job of the day, clear some leaves. Now what I would normally do is, if there's only a few, I would blow these onto the lawn and then pick them up with the mower, but there's just far too many, so we're going to have to pick these up by hand. So we'll get the rake out, do as many as we can with the rake, then blow what's left onto the lawn, and that way we don't have to pick them up with tweezers. We can let the mower do the work, blow them out of the borders, because all the leaves are more or less down now. There's a few stragglers left on the beach, but generally everything's down. All the horse chestnuts are down, all the big ones are down, which are the ones that do the damage. So we're going to get them all out of here, all out of this border along the slate, all the way down there, clear the path across there, across here, and then what's going to happen is they ain't going to blow back onto the lawn when we get a bit of wind and do any damage, because like I said, once the lawn's covered in decorations, I won't be able to get on it then to cut it. So what we're going to do is just do a light feed today. We don't want to give it too much, we don't want too much growth. I did a soil check yesterday with my outlet probe, and that was showing 8 degrees, so the grass ain't really going to be growing much, I don't think, going forward. So what we're going to do is we just want to give it a feed, just so when the autumn is over and the winter comes, it's still got something to nibble on and get those roots extra healthy throughout the winter. And then when spring comes, or like February time, when the temperatures start to rise, we'll notice this lawn get better straight away. But going off years gone by, it's looking fantastic this time of year for how it usually is, but we've hardly any weed grasses. So I really think next year we're not going to be digging up this lawn, a big patch just behind me, just filling little patches behind me. All that work we've put in over the last few years has paid off now, and I don't think we'll have to do that. So might do, because you never know, once it really does start to kind of ease back on the growth, the annual meadow grass then takes over. If we just get one or two little bits, we can deal with those. But I think in the main, that big patch where we have to dig up like that square there, those days are over. So first job, let's get the blower out and let's get these leaves picked up and raked up. Okay, so even after picking all those leaves up and blowing them onto the lawn, we've got quite a lot in the bin. There's still too many on that lawn now for the mower to pick up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rake those up, 2 little piles, and then we'll get on with the mower. Okay, so I'm happy with the amount of leaves I've got up there, and what's left will get picked up with the hater, which I have got just here. I'm going to go on at number 4 today, see how we get on at that. Just leave it a little bit higher at the minute because it's so wet, and then we'll get on with those products as promised, and then this will be put to bed for the winter as far as treatments go. Okay, so that's the mowing done. There's a few stragglers of leaves knocking about, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to whip over with the blower and just blow those to the side. It's just there. There's a few big ones there which the feed could theoretically drop on and not actually get through to the lawn, but everywhere else is fine. So what I've got in there is my autumn punch, just going on at 32 on the spreader. Go on with the granular first, because if you wet the leaf first with the spray and you put your granules on, what's going to happen is the granule is going to stick to the leaf, and then if you don't get any rain, it's going to dry on there, and then the next time you cut, perhaps it's going to take off with the mower. So I always put the granular on and then spray afterwards, and also you then get that granular washed in. As much as it's not that much, but just spraying on top is going to start the process of it dissolving and getting it washed further down into the roots where it works. So without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, that's the autumn punch on. That's going to keep the grass healthy over the winter months. Remember, once you've put the autumn punch on, as easy as I made it look, it could become a nightmare if you don't go around and blow the path off, because those particles contain iron which will stain anything that it drops on. So it's important to blow them off or sweep them off, but never just go on with a hose and hose them off, because there's a chance is it won't move and you'll just activate it and it'll stay where it is and you'll have orange dots everywhere. So always sweep it, blow it, and then if you feel the need to, then you can go with a hose and rinse it down, but generally that doesn't work on its own. Okay, so we're just going to mix up our mix today. What I'm going to put in first, I've already got some water in here, and I know this garden takes 12 litres in this tank, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a solution to 12 litres, including all the products that I've put in. So I'm going to put Dan's Magic in, but in here already I've already got my sapphire green, which is the worm stuff, which is working really well. It's not 100%, but it's miles better than it was. So the first thing I'm going to add to that water, remember always to put a bit of water in your tank first. This just dilutes anything in terms of, not makes it weaker in terms of like when you spray it, but what will happen is because it's gravity fed, if you just put neat concentrate in, that will then just all get all the way put to the front of the nozzle, and then when you spray, whatever's got in first is going to be spraying first. It's not a problem, it's not going to do any harm here with these products, but if you're spraying something quite strong, then you're going to get a really big hit at first and then weaken out. So you might find you get a really green bit at first, and then obviously as it gets weaker it fades and you end up with 2 different colours. So we'll put some water in first just to negate that. So I need 600 here ideally, but I forgot about this, so I've not got enough, so I'm going to go on at half rate, which is better than nothing. With the weather being as it is, I didn't plan ahead because it's been raining all week. I just came out this morning and didn't think, so that's all I've got. So I'll do, you can use it at half rate in the winter anyway, just because the beeswax stuff is quite strong, so we're going to take that into account. Just clean your jug out, just add a bit more water, and then I know I've just used this at the last job, a new container, so I know I used 2 litres there, so I'm just going to put 3 litres in here, which is the right rate for this lawn. Don't need to filter it because it's that absolutely clean. And then I'll top that up like that. Look at the side. Now what you can do is, because it's dark, just give it a bit of a wobble, and you can see, I can see there the line, we're just over 12, so that's absolutely fine. So that's all mixed together. Put the lid on, give it a good shake just to mix it all up, and then we're ready to spray. So I'll see you over there and we'll get it done. Alright, so that's this job done for today. As you can see, it's looking absolutely fantastic for the middle of November. What have we done? We put some autumn punch on and we put some Dan's winter magic on. This is going to give us some great protection against disease and just keep the grass healthy over the winter. Also, what we're going to do is in 2 weeks, we're going to come back, weather permitting, and we're going to get our scarifying attachment in the sterling, and we're going to go over this and pick up any leaves and twigs and stuff that is trapped in there which the mower couldn't pick up. Cut it with a cylinder, see how it looks. It should look absolutely fantastic, and then put it to bed for the winter. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Join us next time when we'll be doing something else lawn related. But before we go, let's just take a look at some results of previous videos that I've done that I've not quite had a catch up on, where I've been using Punch and Dan's Winter Magic. And I think you'll agree that what I call the Galactic lawn, which is one which slopes up at the top, just cut that today, and it's looking absolutely beautiful for this time of year. So that is well on course to be great for Christmas as promised in the video. So I'll leave that with you. So take care and we'll see you soon. Okay, so just one more thing before I go. I just wanted to give a shout out to Alan Buchan of Essex, who won this year's green jacket competition. As you can see there, he's modelling it, and it's an absolute perfect fit with this stunning effort that was voted the best in my Facebook group over the last few months. So well done, Alan, and unfortunately you can't enter again next year.